Hey everyone, I'm Sarah with Fisher Price Ranch. First off, please hit that subscription button down below and the notification bell for updates on our next videos. So today I wanted to give you guys a quick update on the farm and then talk to you about how we're moving forward in our journey to get more land. But first, let me show you guys kind of what we've done. Alright, so this is walking out our front door, and as you can see, we've got all the rock lined on both sides of the driveway. Look how beautiful that looks. I've already shown you guys this part, our walkway up to the goats, but we did do a little bit more since then. I don't think we're going to do anything as far as out here. It's ready for planting grass, but I think we've gotten it at a point where it's a good stopping point, so the buyers of our property can either put grass, or those that hate grass, they could put gravel. So it's a good stopping point, I think, a good blank canvas for somebody that purchases our property. But we did do our flagstone out to the water spigot. Everybody's hanging out this morning. And we got all this raked. And then I resealed the pond finally. So I've been letting it dry for a few days, so we'll check that out real quick. So see, this is all nice and clean. We got our flagstone from our porch to the pond. And I was going to keep raking. You can see the difference from where I've raked and where it has not. But I think I'm going to leave this back here, raw land. And it goes all the way behind the house. Only because our neighbors, you can kind of see their house through all the trees. So that's why we've kept this spot raw land. We didn't trim up the trees. It's kind of a nice cover for privacy. So I think I'm going to leave this raw land. We won't rake this. But here's our pond. I used a chair, sat in there, and resealed it all. So I'm going to just check it real quick. So this is a liquid rubber, and it feels pretty solid. I did it really thick, and right here is my checking spot because it was so thick I could, even though it was dry here, I could squish it, and it seems pretty firm now. So I'm thinking we might be able to fill it today. But I think what we're going to do, so we don't waste water, is I'm only going to fill it about a foot, and then we'll wait and see if it empties. And if it doesn't, after a few hours, we'll fill it another foot. And like that until it's full. And then we can, hopefully, if it stays full, we can put our pump in there and our waterfall will be working. And that'll look really, really nice. Been watering the grass. It's still no rain. We got a little bit of rain the other day, but it wasn't even enough to water for that day, which was not so great, but the goats are keeping it pretty trimmed down. I just moved them off of this pasture, so we're giving that one a break, and they're currently on this one. And as you could see, it's still pretty tall in patches, so they haven't eaten it all down yet. And then we're giving this one the longest break, and it's starting to look really good, getting thick again. But unfortunately, it's not that thick all the way up there. So I've been watering a little bit differently. I strung a hose from the spigot, or from the sprinkler, I should say. That way I could do down the middle. Because if you guys look, it's green along the edges there and here, but the middle wasn't getting enough water. So I've been running a sprinkler in the middle, and that's definitely helping. You can start to see it's greening up in the middle now. So I think that'll definitely help. I think it would have gone a lot better this year if we had actually gotten our monsoon season. But because it's been so hot and dry that, you know, it didn't settle well. I think a lot of it's just dormant. And hopefully it will start greening up now that it's cooling off. So now let's go see the back of the property. This is our porch here. Got it all cleaned up. And I went the wrong way. Gonna have to duck down below the trees here. Okay. So we got all this raked here and lined the driveway. So here we don't have much going on. I try to keep it clean. We got to put the gas cans away and this elk head. But if you guys have seen our videos before, you would be amazed at what this looks like now, I'm sure. We also did our flagstone down to the garden, so I'll show you that. So that's kind of on my agenda, I think, for today, is to work in the garden and get some of these weeds taken out. We've been lacking on the garden quite a bit, as you can see. So I think I'll weed in here today so it looks nicer. The birds are loving it, though. We've got so many wild birds in here eating all the bugs, which is good. And we've been harvesting some. Our tomatoes are getting there. Look at that. So they'll probably be turning red, hopefully, by next week. Lots of big tomatoes all over. We've got lots of cherry tomatoes over here. I'll quickly show you those. Look at all these. There's like, I don't know, 15 or 20 just there. Whole bunch. It's hard to see them. We've got some that we've got to harvest. There's some yellow pear tomatoes that are green. If this would focus. Yeah, look at all these tomatoes. We've got them all over the place. So here pretty quickly we should be able to start harvesting. And then these are our Roma tomatoes there. So we're definitely getting there on tomatoes. We pulled another squash yesterday. It was ready. And we actually have a watermelon, so let me show you guys that. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to harvest fully our garden before it cools off or before we move, if we can get this place sold. But you can see we've got another squash there. Wanted to say we hadn't, yeah, we have a couple small ones there coming in. But then I saw, where was it? Now I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was right in here somewhere. Oh, there it was. Look at this. We have a watermelon. So it would be awesome if we actually got one before it got too cold, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on in the garden. We've got some basils in here that I need to pull seed heads off of so they continue to bunch out. If you pull the seed heads off, then you get more leaves that way. Got some there as well. Our onions are going crazy still, but most of this is weeds. We did get a few lettuce in here. And then we still have a couple of radishes left, but I think we're pretty much done. Waiting on the tomatoes really, I think, is all. And then we'll harvest all our basil. Got that basil there, the sweet basil, the purple basil. And then we've got some more peppers that are still coming in. But I think we're pretty much done with the garden. We're just going to harvest what comes out over the next couple of weeks before we get a frost. It's getting to be that time of year. October's almost here. That's usually when we lose our garden. So we're hoping we'll be able to get all these tomatoes before it freezes. So anyway, we got to this point with our flagstone like I was showing you. So I'll clean out the garden. And we have not finished back here now. We have to, these are some of my dead plants. I gotta empty the pots out and stack the pots, put them away. Rake a little bit more out here. But we did get our rock. Let me get out of the sun so you can see a little better. But our rock is done all the way down the driveway. And then we have our flagstone going to our chickens. So all that we really have left is we're going to get new axles for this trailer so we can get it out of here. The pots. And then we've had somebody come and get some building materials, so now all this is just garbage. So we're going to get all this cleaned out. I'm going to try and get some of the hay out of the rocks here. And then all that's left is our junk pile back here, which we did get a new trailer. So we're fixing that one. It also needs some new axles and tires. otherwise it's in good shape. And so I think what we're going to do is we will put everything that we're keeping in that trailer. That way when we move, it's already loaded and all we got to do is hook up to the trailer and go. What we have out here going on, this is our worst junk area. I haven't really shown you guys this, but now that we're trying to get this place up to go to move, I guess I could show it to you. So unfortunately, because it's been so hot and dry, we have not been able to burn. So we've got brush piles, oh my god, everywhere. This is all manure here. We've had people coming in for truckloads of that, luckily. And I've got some guys coming in for another couple of truckloads, I think. So if we can get this out of here, that will help a lot. And then still have all of our junk that we're getting rid of. I think we're just going to start doing dump runs just to get rid of it because nobody wants it. And then this is all of our brush pile back here. So we're going to have to start chopping this down, I think, and get the firewood out of it that we can. And then just, I don't know, we might have to haul it away if we can't burn. Hopefully we'll start getting some rain soon, or maybe the cooler weather will be able to burn. But once we get this back here cleaned up, it's going to look beautiful. So we have officially listed our house as of yesterday. And so we're hoping that things will get moving in the right direction here shortly. Alright, so another update. I know it was just a few days ago, but you can now see all the green grass coming in the buck pen. Well, it's probably still hard to see, or at least I can't tell. From the view of the camera, I could see it in person, but it's getting really green in here, so that's really good. So it's gonna be nice. There's our chickens. They've made it in here so far. Luckily, this guy has not eaten them, so this might be a good thing to have the chickens in here with him, so he's getting used to them, because he is still kind of into chasing them a little bit. Alright, so you can see we've been doing a lot. We're definitely getting ready. I've actually already got somebody that's interested in our house. They're going to come look at it this weekend. Today's Friday, so within the next couple of days, you guys probably won't see this video till Saturday. It's alright, Thor. It's just a neighbor. So Brandon did have that appointment with the guy that works for the government to help farmers with grants. Thor, I'm talking. It went very well. I was not there, unfortunately, so I don't know all the full details, just what Brandon told me, but pretty much the guy's actually really excited about our journey and what we have planned for our next property. And he's pretty much telling us there's a grant for growing your pasture. There's a grant for putting in water ponds for water. There's a grant for planting orchards. There's a grant for all this stuff that we want to do. And, you know, we were thinking maybe we'd get help with $10,000 or $15,000 to get started on this. He's talking 10 times that. So I'm not really sure how it's going to go. We had some homework we had to do. We had to get a list of all the materials we needed for the property for every single project we wanted done. So that's taken us a few days. Pretty much narrowing it down, rough estimates on what everything will cost, because we plan to do all the work ourselves or get volunteered help or whatever. And so now we're at that point, so now we have to make another appointment with the guy, and I will be there this time. I want to be there, and we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much where we're at the moment. But our plan, if none of that works out, is we're going to sell this place, find another one, get moved over. I think we'll make enough off of this house that we could get started on our projects at the next property. At least get going. We'll get fencing done and, you know, get the barn up. That's our main goal, is fencing and barn for the goats. And we're going to leave the chickens here with this property because we're going to start fresh when we're ready on chickens. Our main goal is the goats right now because they are keeping us going. And so anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully this works out for us. I'm hoping it happens sooner rather than later. I really don't want to do all this in the winter time, but that's kind of what's going on. I know winter's just around the corner, it could be as quick as next month already. So we'll just see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching, and definitely keep watching, because once we do get this next property, we're going to film everything, because we're going to start from the ground up, and we'll show you guys how we're doing it all. We're going to make it as self-sufficient as possible. And so if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. You will not regret it. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.